NLC.
So, Chair, to answer on that, as you have heard, first of all, when we met at ITC offices here, the three were there, and they greeted each other, and we thought it is over. And even when we were having another session at Nandi Fame, we told them, even the acting CC also told them that we did tell them that if you don't come together, it is going to be a problem, because you cannot give something to people who are already having problems. So why Attorney here was requesting that we be together is because the faction that comes to you and the factions that come to us, all of them have come to us, the three. Lele has come there. There's a day even Tum came and Sawe comes. And that is why he was saying that most of the time when they come to our offices, we are telling them that you must be together. But we must also think together with you. Even us, we have done our own ground work to try to make them come together. You see, these are people who came to petition, and we don't know much about their backgrounds. It is only when we hear that they used to be a chairman, we don't know why they refused the first one, why they refused the second one, and now they are in the third one. That is why when you called us here, we were very happy, because we are also, tumechoka na trying to solve the same thing over and over. We look like sisi tuko wazimu kidogo, we are mad. Because when we tell them that you must come together, that is why when you throw it back to us that we do it ourselves, we need to concur with you as a committee and with them, so that we summon them together, we write them letters that we can, use it as an evidence that we summoned these people and they refuse to come. Because you cannot claim, because this thing, the county assembly wants to thank you for having put money in this thing so that it can be resolved. Because initially they used to go to court alone. But now you put money, you put resources. So they must come to the people who gave them resources. And when you summon them, because you are our overseers, you now tell us, can you summon them? We'll do that. Then we come together. We look for a venue where we can come. Thank you.
Honorable members and invited guests, mimi nafikiri tumeelewana vizuri sana. Hiyo watu lazima tukae pamoja kama executive na assembly. Mtusaidie kwa executive. Tukisummon nao kwanza, tumesummon tu iko sawa. Hiyo tumeelewa. Sasa mtusaidie wale wengine. Na uwaambie wasipopitia assembly hakuna kitu. Hiyo ndio tukisikizana hivyo wataenda line. So otherwise mimi nafikiri tutaenda kwa hiyo njia. Legal, ama uko na maoni gani?
So, mimi nakubaliana chairman. Tutaweka more effort kutafuta, especially kama kwa upande wangu mtu mmoja tu hajakuja, huyo ni Mr. Sawe, na hata my team nakubaliana ya kwamba tukiona mtu ambaye hataki kuja, lazima kuna kitu inamfanya asikuje, because wale wengine Tuma amekuja, Lelei amekuja, na wote wanasema tuite sisi wote tukuje pamoja, ndio kila mtu aseme shida iko wapi. Lakini mtu ambaye amekuwa elusive tukijaribu kumuita ni Mr. Sawe.
Chair, as you conclude, I request that, as he said that some of the groups were going to Nairobi. So when the verdict was given, National Land Commission walitoa verdict yao, hiyo group ya Sawe walienda Nairobi. Na walipoenda Nairobi, wakarudi wakasema walikuwa wanataka kwenda kwa maofisi kubwa kubwa. So I reported the same to our governor, who told me, can you accompany them and know where they are going? That's now we got the information that they were going to the DP's office. They were not going to see the DP, some officers there. And then when I went to see the CS for lands, they appeared there also. They were there. They talked to the CS lands. And now, when we came back and I reported the same to our governor, he told us now that we need to tell the three factions to come together. That is why we have, because even now when we were coming, we saw them, they were coming with this group, they were going to our office. And there was a time we had told them that, you are making us tired. This thing, you don't have the land. Solve your issue of being together as one. Na tumewaambia kila siku kwamba nyinyi msipokuwa pamoja itakuwa ngumu sana kusaidia nyinyi. But what they have done, what the legal office have done, is for them to give their list ambayo imekuwa combined. They will have one combined list ya wote. Wale wengine walitoa, ndio tukapata hii 4,400 160 ilitoka kwa grupu tatu. They harmonized. Isn't that
Na wote walisign. The three of them signed on the list.
Maybe just to get from you, what is the bone of contention in the two teams that have come to your offices? What is the bone of contention in terms of this leadership?
It's hard to understand because
If the claim is the same,
yes,
they have a common list
yes,
of intended beneficiaries of this process.
yes.
What is this that is making these people to want to be in leadership?
From my own analysis of the three, especially the two, because Lele is more neutral. Lele is more of a mediator for the two. So the main characters here is Tum and Sawe. And what my own analysis looking at the two, it's more to do with claiming credit for any eventual settlement of the people, claiming credit, and because Tum keeps saying, I'm the one who prepared the petition, I have all the documents, I have all the information, and actually it appears that way because he has a lot of documents with him and he seems to have all the facts on his fingertips. And the other chairperson, Mr. Sawe, doesn't seem to have all the information. So I think it's more to do with claiming credit for eventual success of resettlement of these people, because we have a harmonized list and they have all signed on the list. So it is not about who is genuine and who is not, because we have the list. Maybe they think there will be something that the chairperson will benefit from eventually. Let me give my colleague Maureen also to.
Maybe before that, I think if these people agreed on a list, then I don't think there is anything that is stopping you from proceeding with the process of making sure that there is land for these people, because there is nowhere the leadership will not have any role when it comes to subdivision even of the land. I don't think so, because if you already have all the documents agreed upon, then as a department, I think you should proceed with the process of so that unless there is in the list of 4,000 plus, unless there are some names that this particular team will benefit from. Otherwise, if they are genuinely and they can be identified as this name matched to this particular person, this name matched with this particular person, I don't see why we should struggle with the leadership when the substance of the matter is land to access.
The problem, Mheshimiwa, is that you know these people, they keep going to the offices in Nairobi, and when they keep doing that, the offices in Nairobi will call us and ask us. It seems there is division on the ground. So if these leaders of the groups are warned against making such trips to Nairobi, I think it can help also.
Mr. Chair. Chair, thank you. Maybe to add on what my seniors here have said, I personally have interacted so much with these people, the Kimondi Forest entities, and we have held so many meetings, and especially just as we have put in our response, especially in our meetings at the ICT, we thought that was going to bear fruits for this, because even after the meeting, they hugged each other. There was harmony. But we don't know, we really don't understand what happened immediately afterwards, because Mr. Sawe decided to go away. He decided to avoid our office, he moved to the next office, which is the lands office. And later on, we came to learn that he has even decided to go maybe to Nairobi. He is making allegations that he is using now the big people. This is not an issue to be handled by the county anymore, that it is going to be handled from above. So it is really difficult for us. It has become difficult for us to handle this matter. And in fact, we were happy when you invited us to this before to appear before this committee to shed to tell what we have been going through. Uh, I think I tend to think that the main issue between these two leaders, so to say, is the appearance before the people they are leading, or the credit, as my senior has said, the credit they get from the people on the ground. Because when the forest officers came, we went to the ground, we visited the camps, and actually they are in deplorable state. And in fact, what has been giving us the morale to handle this issue soonest is because of the state that those people are living in. But unfortunately, we came to learn that those people are the ones who are maybe supporting one leader against the other. They are the ones who are fighting. Because when you get there, both leaders want to be associated with the visitors who have come, to appear to be the ones who have invited the visitors. You see. So it is actually more of, I don't know how we can handle this issue, this leadership issue between the two of them. If it is possible, maybe we can invite both of them if they will agree to. They will accept the invitation. Of course, we can't go and pull them from wherever they are. If they will accept the invitation, if we can bring both of them so that we get the real cause. Because most at times we have gone close to bringing them together. But within no time again, everything has been comes back to zero. So we come back to square one. So it has become so difficult. And again, Chair, I want to also mention the issue of resettlement. I don't think, okay, these leadership wrangles affect the resettlement because of those offices. Otherwise, if they had not gone to the higher offices, the other actors, if they don't go to the other actors, then it would be easier. We would even handle the resettlement part, have the land degazetted and that process first, and then come to the lists later, or how we resettle these people. We can handle it later. But then now the problem is that we get calls from above saying that now how do we help these people? And when there is an issue there is a leadership wrangles or another issue, then they'll tend to put aside that file. It will be put aside, saying that nyinyi muendelee muone vile mtatatua shida zenyu kwanza, kwa sababu hamwezi tuletea shida zenyu hapa. So it has become rather difficult. Thank you.
That's actually what happened during the hearings at Bible College. When the commissioners were seated, and then two groups rose, two chairpersons rose, each wanting to present the petition. So Dr. Torore said, no, hatutawasikiza, mwende kwanza nje, mwende muelewane, alafu mrudi. So the file was placed aside. Similarly, in KFS, in the Ministry of Lands, any office, they will place aside their file until they have agreed and become one. Because government fears to give land, and then people end up killing each other.
That is true.
Yeah.
Honorable Nyondo.
First of all, I'm very sorry because I just left and I don't know what he had talked about. But when I came in, I found you talking of I don't know if it was that annexure which you gave us. I thought I heard you mention that the annexure is is compiled of the rightful people to be awarded to the land. Is that the case? So how did you arrive at that annex and yet there is still no agreement?
Mr. Chair, we came up with that list in July last year. That is just before the commissioners came to Nandi for the second time. Because in the first, their first visit, they had directed that we come up, that the group comes up with one list. So that is when we held these meetings with these people. And as I mentioned earlier, we were at the verge of bringing them together. We had agreed on some list until they hugged each other. But later, we found out that they had disagreed again. And one of them even decided to completely avoid our office. I hope I have answered the question.
I've answered. That is the way you arrived. So how do we now? Where do you place this document? Is it the rightful one, or it is just the one you had that time? Now that there is no agreement up to date, because if we keep it and say it is the right one, yet these people have never come together again, we are still having problems. I don't think that should be the right document.
To answer you, Mheshimiwa, if you see in our document, we said, well, we didn't number the pages, but I think it should be page 3, for the heading NLC, recommendation of the NLC. We have indicated that eventually we were able to reach an agreement that was agreeable to all the 3 chairmen and the stakeholders, and they agreed to hand in their respective lists of beneficiaries to be consolidated and handed to the commission as the final list. The group allied to Mr. Sawe, despite being present in the meeting and showing no sign of dissatisfaction, were not happy with the deal and withdrew from the agreement. Since then, there has been a lot of complaints raised against each other. So what we are trying to say is that even after presenting their list and signing against it, the same group still went to those offices in Nairobi, and that is where the disagreements again began, even after thinking we had resolved the problem.
Yeah, I think you are clear. After agreeing, they also withdrew.
Yeah.
So that is why I don't see that one being the
And that is
document
why
we can rely
list,
on.
even though the list is signed by the 3, still there are those issues that you hear all the time.
Okay.
So it seems they are going back on their agreement again.
Yeah, my worry is that you might go forward and present that one as the rightful one when others withdrew. That is my only worry. So I think let us just place it that it is during that time. That is the agreement we reach. But after that, still there is no agreement, meaning that this one cannot be the rightful one to be presented.
Bas, kabla kamilisha, wacha nipatie Honorable Kiti na alafu nimalizie.
I think based on this conversation, I think it's important that we have the 3 factions in one meeting, and most probably with the department present, so that we conclude once and for all. Because if the push and pull continues, then we will not be solving the problem that the people have, that of land. We cannot stop a process just on leadership. I think it is important to handle the issue, that is resettlement. So I think that is my proposal, Chairman.
Hata mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hiyo kuunga mkono those 3 groups. Lazima na nyinyi tukue wote hapa na tu harmonize, alafu ipitie sheria, kwa sababu hii ni nyumba ya sheria na tunaheshimu. Alafu hiyo list ikishapita assembly, that is final thing. Ule mtu ataenda nje, sorry yake. Otherwise tutaweka siku ambao tutawaita wote, mwandikia au barua. Ule mtu atakosa bahati yake mbaya, kwa sababu hiyo tutaweka kuwa sheria, ikipitia bunge imekuwa sheria. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone. Thanks you, legal, for attending this meeting. Honorable members here, I wish to thank you for attending. So otherwise, this meeting stand adjourned.